No,
date
I'm
me
just
or
telling you.
something?
No, I'm just telling you. You're like frozen in time. You're like Dick Clark.
Oh.
Here you go. All right, Jimmy.
You're like-
Not everybody can say that. I certainly can't say
Three,
that.
two,
Okay.
one, we're rolling.
What's the first day of work like for you on a movie? I know, like for real people who have regular jobs, the first day of work is terrible. It's nauseating. You're scared. What's the first day of work like for you?
That is a good question. A lot of times I'm sleepless. I used to be, actually, when I first started working in film, I used to be a complete insomniac before the first day of shooting. On this film, Guilty as Sin, it was a little bit mitigated by the fact that Sidney Lumet rehearses so much. So we rehearsed the entire movie for about 8 hours a day for 2 weeks. By the end of the 2 weeks, I felt like I'd shot the movie already. Mm-hmm. And so the first day of shooting became actually a lot easier.
So you already had your confidence at that point?
I think so, yeah, and I needed it sorely because I play a very confident character.
How have you changed in 10 years since I've seen you last? How has Rebecca the lady changed?
Well, you know, I've talked to other actors and I've read other people's interviews, and a lot of people talk about how much they've changed. And actually, I don't think I really have changed. I think I've become more and more myself, if that makes any sense.
So you matured?
Definitely. I'm definitely maturing, and it's a good thing. I feel a lot less agitated, a lot less panicky about things that used to worry me.
Michelle Pfeiffer and you are about the same age. She told me that she's a lot less trusting now, 10 years later. She's a little more inside than she was, a little less extroverted.
I sort of feel the opposite. I feel I've become more of who I am, and therefore I am more trusting, because I think it's more my nature to be trusting. I mean, I'm not stupid, but trust is important. Mm-hmm. I'm probably more social than I was. I've probably come out of myself a little bit more.
How do you look at your career? I mean, are you a workaholic, for example? Do you have to be working all the time?
I'm basically lazy, I think, but by the same token, I'm a Virgo and I'm very thorough. And I think I was very ambitious at the beginning of my career, which is probably what helped me get started in the first place. I think without a lot of ambition, it's almost impossible to get a career started, because all the odds are really stacked against you. And I've forgotten what your question was.
Well, basically, it's kind of in the boiling down to how you change type things, you know.
You want me to have changed in
No,
10
I'm
years.
just, yeah, you haven't changed though. That's what, you know, you look physically the same. You're a much better actress because, you know, you've done a lot more things.
That's nice.
Now I'm just wondering how you really concentrate on your career. Is it really something you're obsessed with? Do you have to be working all the time? Is it something you think about a lot, or you just do it like a job? I mean, is it your life or is it your work?
It's my work. I think there's a big danger in overinvesting and obsessing in any one ingredient in your life, whether it's a person or it's your job or whatever it is that you may want to fixate on and become compulsive about. I think I was much more ambitious and compulsive when I first got started, but I think that was necessary to propel me into anything. I'm sorry, I just hear like just a lot of talking in there. Maybe we could just close the door if they need to talk. Sorry.
We can make an edit there.
Sorry.
When people run into you, like at the airport or on the street or something, what are they saying to you now? Who's recognizing you, and what are they recognizing you for?
Mainly now from The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. There are still people that get untold joy from recognizing me and saying that Risky Business is their favorite film and they've seen it a million times. And some people, quite a few very kind of sensitive people come up to me lately on an airline steward and said, you know, trip to Bountiful, I'll never forget that. But in general, it's kind of when people recognize me, it's with a very big grin of recognition. You are Peyton, and God, we love you, which is ironic because when I was making the film, I was convinced that people would really begin to hate me after seeing me in that film. And it's quite the reverse.
That is interesting. When you're making a movie, you don't really know that You're going to be in something that's going to stay with you your whole life and be bigger than you ever thought it would be. And that movie was such a smash, it has to have affected a lot of people. They probably look at you and say, oh my God, because you were kind of a nasty lady.
I was, but people love her more than they care to admit.
And I frankly was rooting for you, and I thought it was kind of a sick thing for me to do, because I hated the other people in the movie, the woman who left the kids alone, and some of those kind of things. I was kind of rooting for you during most of the movie.
Well, I did a lot of publicity for that film in Europe and also in Tokyo. I was fortunate enough to go, and in Japan they really took that character to an extreme, because I was being interviewed by this male journalist who said, you know, I don't understand your character. Why are you not kill a whole family? He thought that would have been quite fitting for my character to do, and was sort of weirded out why I hadn't.
So you think you can be appointed now to the Supreme Court, or represent me if I get in trouble in a criminal trial?
I don't think so.
Don't think so?
No, I don't think so. I learned just enough to get by in the movie.
Well, I certainly wouldn't mind paying you the lawyer fees as opposed to somebody I have paid in the past. So it'd be a lot more fun to be around. Thank you. Enjoyed seeing you in this film.
Thank you.
I had a woman lawyer when I got divorced, and